kind of separate myself a little bit. I need you to come to 1515 North McKean. 1515 North McKean is right, it crosses Pressman Street. This is where our park and playground is located because we want you to sign up, to volunteer, to help in any way you can. So, Peter, are you still there from the AFRO?
Yes, I'm here. Hey, how you doing, Doc?
I'm
Great.
doing good, my friend. How are you? What can you tell us? Where are we and what did we do last week?
Last week, it was amazing. We covered Afro, as I'm writing we're doing this whole series on food deserts in Baltimore and solutions and how to get this disgraceful situation solved. And you had the positive demonstrations thanking Transamerica, one of the largest financial groups and insurance groups in the world and based in there, thanking them for helping, Harbor Bank of Joe Haskins and, investing in the community directly, making jobs and, growing, your signs were, investment, not charity, grow with us. It was fantastic. And we're going to probably we're scheduled to do a story next week with that and the positive. And your demonstration also motivated people in Cherry Hill who are asking to replace the food dollar in Cherry Hill with another better, higher quality supermarket. So I think, it's been a, bright of, sunshine.
And we have put in a phone call so that you know, Peter, again to our president and CEO, asking for a special meeting that we want you to come and join with us because we want the Harbor Bank through CEO Haskins to share with us, and in turn we're going to share with other communities that are suffering as a result of being in a food desert. We're going to share with them where the funds are coming from, how to contact the CEO of Harbor Bank, Mr. Haskins, and how they too can do what we're going to do is basically ask for assistance in getting the funds to build a supermarket. So, Peter, if you want to stay on, we'd love to have you, but I'd like to have you every week, as you have been, to come in and give us an update as to where we are. And we're hoping to send, hopefully next week, letters to some of these food markets, inviting them to come take a walk through the neighborhood and see where we want to place the food market.
Oh, but Doc, can I add one thing? It's not just Harbor Bank. Joe Haskins, the Harbor Bank, J.P. Morgan, I was just J.P. Morgan Chase that opened 3 new branches east of the river in Anacostia, and it has a branch in Cherry Hill, and it's opening up more branches in Baltimore, is invested in Harbor Bank and Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs, and we also talked as AFRO to the CEO of Goldman Sachs, David Solomon. Between JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, they have invested over $500 million privately in Baltimore. So everybody's on the same page on this situation. And, the investment in your neighborhood in Cherry Hill, the West Baltimore, Sandtown, Easterwood, and Cherry Hill benefits everyone. The supermarket, the residents, the people who live there, and the Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan who have invested heavily, and then, finally, Kevin Plank of Under Armour, who's created that whole area just like north of Cherry Hill. So everybody wins in this situation. So there's no reason not to do it.
We just need to make it happen, and I'm hoping these next 2 months we'll do as best we can. We'll be asking folks to come next Tuesday at 5:45. 1515 McKean Avenue and sign up to volunteer to help us. So please feel free to stay on with us, Peter. Miss Daphne Austin is here. I'm happy to say I'm very prejudiced, folks.
M&T Bank does not have the relationship that Peter is suggesting that J.P. Morgan is going to have with the relationship. And it's about the Black Bank, which is Harbor Bank. So now we're talking about the city having a relationship, or a bank coming to Baltimore for having a relationship with a black bank. And this is what we need. And we're talking about the economic strength in the black community and so forth. This is how it begins. You have to have money, and we know this. People say it every day. We have the money, have money to do things. But who are you going to get in bed with to have that relationship? Other people say capitalism is the worst thing since the devil. But again, if you don't know how to use capitalism and you don't know how to use capital, then you're never going to be able to move forward. And Peter, I appreciate you and the Afro for moving Dr. along, in this vein. And that's all I wanted to say. It's like we have to get in that position with her.
Take your calls all the time. Any advice and guidance you can give us. We got at least 2.5 months to try to get us a blue market here and get the funding from Harvard Bank and from our good friend, the CEO of Harvard Bank. So we can use all the advice and guidance we can. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you, guys.
Doc, can I add something? The good news is it's the funding that's Harbor Bank is getting done by the FDIC, the Federal Depository Insurance Corporation, through the chairman, Yelena McWilliams, who's created what she called a shark tank, which is basically capital that will go through minority-owned banks like Harbor Bank that can be used for community projects or businesses or entrepreneurs. So, and that's the FDIC, so nobody can mess around with the FDIC. They control, they're like the police, the top cop of all banks. They're the ones who make sure that your $250,000 depository insurance is paid. So that's the beauty. It has everybody you want involved. And there can be no mistakes. It has to be done well. So if it's going to benefit the community investment, it will. They will ensure that it does benefit the community. It won't be a tax break for the worst investors. It'll just be for the good investors.
Yes, that's first we have. It is on the internet. It is still being delivered. I don't know exactly where the stores are. I know it used to be on Mulberry Street, right at Poplar Grove and Mulberry and Franklin, all in a second. It used to always be there at 7-Eleven. I actually have a subscription, but I would say that probably the best way is just to call information, hook up with the Afro, because they will probably be able to tell you where the locations are. But I do know it is on the internet. It is being delivered to homes, but where to actually purchase it now, I know in my area it used to be sold on the corner, but it's not being sold on the corner.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 410-554-8200. 554-8200, 410-554-8200. That's our great board office giving us this information. Reverend Willie Ray, how are you, my long?
Hey, good